Now, how about this one, Shay? Georgia going on the road, number one Georgia at
Mm-hmm.
South Carolina. The Bulldogs favored by 24.5 points. The over-under is 55, and this kicks off at noon Eastern, 11 o'clock Central on ESPN right after College Game Day. Shane Beamer says they're delaying the kickoff so that
Oh,
ESPN can broadcast their entrance, their 2001. So it's going to be hot. It's humid. It's going to be hyped down
right.
there. It's going to be one crazy environment. Who do you got in the ball game?
But it's the Georgia Bulldogs, man. And I look at that. You talked about toughest schedules, and
Yeah.
I'm looking at that South Carolina one, man. After week 3, they've got to have the trophy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
These guys have. They will be battle tested, that's for sure, and they're limping into this game. That's the discouraging part. I don't know if you've got any updates on the injuries, but you'll probably get to it here in a little bit. But these guys right here, I just they fight. They're gritty. We saw it in Arkansas. We saw it every week. Every week they impress me with how much they put into the game, and that feeds off of Coach Beamer, man. I mean, if you watch him on the sideline, Shane Beamer, he's the pulse of that South Carolina team, and nobody wants it more than he does. It's just unfortunate right now that you're going against the national champs and possibly repeating national champs. This team is absolutely loaded. Georgia Bulldogs, they destroyed Oregon week 1, week 2. They didn't even have to play. Like literally, the third string could have came in and won that game. So they're healthy, they're fresh, and they're coming in there for just blood. So
Mm-hmm.
unfortunately, I I think I don't think it's as ugly. I don't think it's like like Oregon game, 50 points or anything like that. But I think they, try to shorten the game and still, I got to go over with Georgia here. So Georgia and the points, 38, South Carolina does get a touchdown in this game, 10.
Now let me ask you this, Shay, because this is like a new age Georgia here. We're throwing all over the yard. Stetson Bennett, red hot. We're used to
Yeah.
Georgia being ground and pound and just killing everybody on the ground. Yet South Carolina, number 129 in the country in stopping the run. So I mean, no, any way you slice it, this is a bad matchup for the Gamecocks. But if you're South Carolina, what do you choose to do? Do you dare the Bulldogs to run at your paper defense, or do you sit back and let Stetson pick you apart? I mean, that's kind of the biggest question mark I have going into this game.
You know what? I know this may not be a thing, but I always wonder about guys like Kirby and Beamer. They've
Mm-hmm.
got a relationship. We've heard the story earlier this week, living down the street in the
Yep.
same neighborhood, and all this stuff. I wonder if there's any pullback with these guys. I think the like Tennessee a few years ago, we didn't get destroyed by Georgia, but I was wondering after the fact, is it because Kirby and Pruitt like each other that he didn't just put his, you know what I'm saying? Like maybe he was a little upset that Dan left him and he just wanted to beat the hell out of Oregon. I don't know, but it makes me wonder if that's even a thing. Is that crazy? Do you ever think about that?
Well, Shane, the fact that you're asking if Georgia's going to feel bad for South Carolina kind of says it all about this ball game. I think Kirby is he may be a nice guy, but he's also one of the most ruthless in college football. If they could win by
Yeah.
200, they'll do it against the South
Okay.
Carolina Gamecocks. I don't think there's going to be any calling off of the dogs
No,
here.
no throttling in the third quarter. Taking it a
No.
little easy. Maybe try to establish more of a running game, slow it down a little bit. I don't know. It may happen, but I still have Georgia in the over. So
He wants to never lose to South Carolina, regardless of where the game is, but especially not in Williams-Brice after losing to South Carolina at home a couple seasons. No way in hell, Shane. He wants to make them Gamecocks pay the ultimate price year after
yeah,
year after year. Georgia's won 6 of the last 7 against the Gamecocks. They lead the all-time series 53-19 with 2 ties, but
Yeah, but what did he do? Big Heart Kirby went out there and hired him. I mean, Muschamp gets the upset.
That's true. That's true.
Big Heart Kirby.
He's hired a lot of former South Carolina Gamecocks, which adds a little intrigue to this game. But Shane, I know I'm the idiot that went on Paul Feinbaum and said South Carolina's going to pull the upset. So I have been racking my brain all week to try to figure out a recipe for that to happen. I think special teams potentially is where South Carolina could have an edge. They've got an elite kicker. They've got a unit that has blocked, obviously, a couple kicks and returned them. We're going to have to see some blocked kicks. I don't even know if you want to kick a field goal against Georgia because I think you need as many touchdowns as you can in the game. You got to keep the crowd in the game. You've got to do something early in this ball game to get them energized and enthused. Survive the first half. Try to make it a 2-half game here. And, Spencer Rattler, number 3 in the SEC with 603 passing yards. So he's not playing that poorly. He's just been inconsistent. But he does have 3 interceptions. If he throws 1 interception, they got no chance. I mean, we got to be flawless in this ball game. Juice Wells, 8 catches last week, 189 yards and a touchdown. He leads the SEC, Shane, with 244 receiving yards. Marshawn Lloyd, he's living up to the hype finally. Great to see. 126 total yards, 3 touchdowns on the season. Jalen Brooks, 6 catches, 117 receiving yards. So we've got some stuff to cook with here at South Carolina. Could make it an interesting ball game, Shane. I'm going upset of the weekend. South Carolina 21, Georgia 48. The upset is going to be me reading these mentions, Shane, because these Bulldogs are not going to let me forget what I said this off season. I can't find any way that South Carolina wins this game now that we've actually seen these two take 2 games on the field. I think I don't know. Stetson Bennett, you let him tear you up. I think that's got to be the game plan if you're South Carolina, and just let them run at you. But good luck with that because Georgia's loaded all across the board. You know what?
Yeah, they really are. But I mean, it's still going to be a hell of a game. And miracles do happen. He didn't want to hear those puns and the David and Goliath, but man, who knows? It takes one rock. Maybe you get the upset again.
Exactly. All right, Shane.